What's up, family? Welcome back to another legendary reaction video. So we got Charles Barkley tells the truth about Caitlin Clark. Let's get into it. Make sure you get this video a big thumbs up, man. Help crush that YouTube algorithm. Hit the like button, bro. It don't cost a dime, bro.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan,
It's been a good season.
They cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried.
Look, that's from a legend. They messing it up, bro. They hating. Let's see what else you guys say.
Yes, VP. Reality is coming.
People want to talk about, oh, if Caitlin's 10th on the roster and she sits the bench, it's still going to bring eyes to the game. No, it's not.
Stop lying. Stop lying, bro.
Sit on a throne of lies.
Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Absolutely not.
Wrong.
That sounds like Don
Because I think
Staley.
it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out there.
How you make a mockery of the women's game when she actually brought value to the game of women basketball, and a lot of people who never watched or wasn't even supporting the WNBA is now supporting the WNBA because she's basically the face of the WNBA. I can see if this was all just narrative, but Benzone is being backed up, and the person that's basically the face of the NBA is not even saying nothing, says a lot, and seizes the noise. It's like toxic. It's like, you know, somebody in your family that just toxic, and they survive off of drama, so they go create drama to go feed off of it for themselves, and then the other person that like the drama feed off of it, and it's a toxic cycle from within the family of drama. It's like a toxic family of WNBA players, and then Caitlin Clark just popped up, and she's just getting all the backlash for it. It's crazy.
When looking at sports media today, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to find figures who believe the takes they're giving, have conviction behind their takes, and aren't giving takes based on narrative to push lies and really just make money. And one of the last remaining figures who remains authentic is, of course, Charles Barkley. And regarding Caitlin Clark, Charles has told it how it is since day one.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bring into the WNBA.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, tell him. One thing about Charles Barkley, he is not going to be one of those media individuals or analysis that sit there and want to talk on narratives that's not even factual. See, a lot of times the media now, they want to make you look disgruntled and evil, and they want to make you look out the way they want you to look to be, right? They can make you look mean as a person, then when someone actually see you in person, it's nothing like what the media is making you out to be. Because the media can edit you, make your face look a certain way. It's just crazy, man. And then I objectively, I look at it from both sides, and I'm like, okay, basically WNBA players who've been in the NBA or have been a veteran in the WNBA, even though they're spreading ignorance by not passing the baton and giving respect to respect is due, because they're basically like old ladies saying, get off my line when newcomers come along. But the point I'm getting at, family, is I get it. At first, it's like, she's number one pick. I get it. Okay, let's see if this number one pick, it justifies why she a number one pick. Let's see what value she brings, which causes her to be a number one pick, because obviously she was a number one pick for a reason, right? So then you look at it and you like, okay, let's see if she could back it up that she's a number one pick, because we've been here and all the hype around her. What about the individuals? It doesn't absolve from the individuals that have been here, like Kelsey Mitchell and stuff like that, who put in their work, put in their time, and are great, phenomenal players. No doubt about that. But Benzone, she's backing it up and not even entertaining the bull crap and made y'all basically putting food in your mouths and making y'all live different. Bro, you better shut it up.
Now, that clip from Charles right there came from the Western Conference Finals, Mavericks versus Timberwolves. And Clark at that point had only played a handful of games as a professional. But even with that being said, Barkley could see the hatred brewing on and off the court, current players, past players, and especially the analysts. To not see the comments dissing Clark, the fouls on the court, just kind of abusing her on the court, to not see that, you have to be ignorant. And for someone like
Yeah.
Elle Duncan of ESPN, she feigned ignorance and acted like all this was made up and came out of thin air.
This is only women that get this. I'm tired of it. Like, here's my thing, you guys. What else? Who? Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark?
Bruh. What are you talking about? Dawn Staley, Cheryl Swoops, Angel Reese. What they say, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping? What are you talking about? Is she seeing what we seeing, family? Let's read this. Caitlin Clark's race is a huge thing in her rise in popularity, claims WNBA star AJ Wilson. Quote unquote, it boils my blood, she says.
Oh, that's not so much.
Lynx, or I should say Minnesota Lynx, head coach Cheryl Reeve mad at WNBA for spotlighting Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever. This is a tweet from Angel Reese, and that's on getting a win in a packed area, not just because of one player on our charter flight. Carrington, Dujani Carrington attacks Caitlin Clark over dismissive comment regarding race.
So?
WNBA legend gets ripped for spreading blatant misinformation about Iowa star Caitlin Clark. Let's get it.
So?
WNBA legend gets ripped for spreading. Oh, we read that already. Sorry, family. WNBA player livid with Caitlin Clark's $5 million pro offer from Big Three Men's League. Reality is coming. Diana Taurasi was right about Caitlin Clark. She can't guard Juju Watkins. LA Sparks star Lexi Brown counters Caitlin Clark.
When looking at someone like Elle Duncan, they are the anti-Charles Barkley. What they do is appeal to social media and a niche group on social media. Charles Barkley tries to appease nobody.
Facts.
What he does is tells it how he thinks it is.
No. We're not gonna say tell it how he think it is. He telling it how it is. And simple fact that he's a veteran, he's an analyst where he comes from an analytical standpoint and been on the floor and being a WNBA player. Being an NBA player and looking at it from his lens and a long-term effect and see how the team is being impacted. And when I say the team, I'm talking about the Indiana Fever franchise, let alone the impact of the WNBA. It's not know what he thinks. It's factual. He been through things. He been through the things that Caitlin Clark been through. So his saying and what he says brings value because it's factual, because everything Caitlin Clark is going through, he most likely have been through throughout the years. You become wise over time, bro. It ain't no what he thinks, bro. It's facts, bro, because what the facts is, I find it very, very weird, right? He just said Charles Barkley tell her how it is. With facts, not like these other media outlets. And then say Charles Barkley just says what he thinks. Nah, he telling the facts.
Times than not, he is indeed correct. Someone like Elle Duncan, her opinion, it blows with the wind and what's popular online. Case in point, her spat with Cheryl Swoops. Initially, Elle Duncan called out Swoops for blatant lies regarding Clark. Then, a couple of days later, apologized, backtracked, and was kissing the feet of one Cheryl Swoops.
And that's why Cheryl Swoops didn't discover that. That's why she didn't cover the game with the Dallas Wings. It's gone. Look, whatever you put out is gonna come back, bro. She wanna be on her anti, not say Clark word, not say Caitlin Clark name. She'll mention everybody else when Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boss and all these individuals when they get a win, but then won't credit the team and collectively because you can't really give the team full credit because you won't mention somebody on the team that's part of the success. Like, weird, bro. You weird.
Again, someone like Elle Duncan is the anti-Charles Barkley. Her opinion can sway with the wind. Charles Barkley will tell you the cold hard truth whether you want to hear it or not.
See? He just said he gonna say the cold hard truth, so it ain't what he think. Come on, bro. You gotta get your wording right, brother. I'm rocking with you, but come on, bro.
She did in college for women's basketball. What she's doing in the WNBA.
She turned the Fever. We're 1-8. They have a winning record now.
But the number of attention, eyeballs.
The thing is, Caitlin Clark picked up her game. She moved at a faster pace. And I always see some games she start off, for the most part, she picks it up, no doubt about it. But for the most part, what I'm seeing, analyzing it, is she'll have a slow first half for the most part, most games, and then she'll really, whatever is turned to lightning bolt. She turned to Usain Bolt, the famous Jamaican famous track star, the sprinter, like nothing, bro. And then sometimes she'll set the tone in the first half, but she more so has a slow first half, like I said. But here and there, she'll set the tone in the first half, and then they usually have trouble maintaining the league. It's just due to the turnover issue. But you can always fix that, right? Just have little goals of preventing less turnovers. I mean, preventing not so much turnovers. That's all right.
She's bought the college and the pros. And for these women to have this petty jealousness, you say to yourself, damn, what is going on here? And
Well, you got accused of that stuff too with the older players
See?
being resentful of the new
Over time.
generation. It's kind of part of the basketball process.
Yeah,
Everybody
but-
thinks their generation's the best.
no. Anytime we say something about guys, it ain't the old get off my lawn guy.
Yeah.
But the stuff toward her is petty and jealous.
And let's make one thing very clear. Caitlin Clark is not above criticism of her game and her on-the-court play. As looking at her game, yes, there are some parts of her game that need improving. Most notably, her turnovers. That is a point of basketball that can be judged objectively with facts. Someone like Cheryl Swoops doesn't do that. And from a pure marketing perspective, like Barkley says, this league has messed up the Clark thing since the beginning. As looking at Clark, she's indeed their cash cow that will elevate the entire league and every player. Players who like her, don't like her, doesn't matter. A rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
And if you want to look at the facts of the matter, Caitlin Clark is the one player on the one team that is box office and must see. Out of these 16 must-watch games this year, Caitlin Clark's team was involved in 14 of the 16. What you have in Caitlin Clark is a Jordan-esque figure. Not only a great player, a great marketing machine, but must-see TV for even casual basketball fans. For the WNBA,
Forget the marketing, bro. Throw that out of there. Because as a basketball player and me playing little basketball and growing up, she ain't focusing on no marketing. Her work gonna speak for itself. They choose to market it because obviously it's beneficial enough to be marketed. Caitlin Clark ain't worrying about being marketed. She know what she could do. So let's put out the marketing machine stuff. Because that's where all the controversy coming anyway. And that's why you could tell, obviously, my point is factual. Because if that's the case, she'll be making these narratives up from a marketing standpoint. She focused on her game and her team and the chemistry. And you can see the transformative movement of the team. Right? You can see how phenomenal they are. And it actually did her a favor by not putting her in the Olympics. You see these winning streaks? Yeah, it snapped because they just lost to the Minnesota Lynx, but not by much. But you get my point, right? She well rested and she focusing on her craft, right?
they've been begging for that for close to 20 years. And now that they finally got it, they're on the brink of messing it up in only one season. Actually impressive.
Every day when you wake.
Excuse the ad, family.
And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. And now, when I watch her, two things I like. She's playing much faster.
Yeah.
Much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
I think she was tired. I think she was banged up from the college season.
They didn't even give her the understanding, like, you girls been worded for the WNBA season. Y'all been working out on the no. She came straight out of college and had to go right to the WNBA like 2 weeks later.
So looking back at actual
That is
basketball
true.
play
It's
on the
like, just imagine you playing in one environment and then transferring over to another. As you can see, it's evident she's a fast learner. You know, she caught on very fast. But man, that takes adjustment, right? Because you only know what value you bring. You got to learn a whole different set of people, learn to trust in your teammates. You know, because in college, you just balling out. You know, you balling out and y'all looking at what's beneficial and what works. But when it comes to the leagues, you know, the league is supposed to be surrounded around all greats are surrounded around greats. So you're going to get challenges and you have to trust the other greats that's on your team around you, as they should, because obviously they're there for a reason, right? So, yeah.
Or, like Barkley said, Clark at the start of the year compared to now is a completely different player. As early in the season, she was an all-star player, a very good player. Now in early September, she's a bona fide top 5.
I feel like what her last 17 games, I feel like photosynthesis took place. And I know I'm getting a bit scientific, but it's like that breast transformed into a beast type of energy where, man, it helped not only Caitlin Clark, it helped the team as overall from a health standpoint. And just come out and just rock out, you know, to be positioned to be in the playoffs and numbers. Look, she scored 103 pointers, man, breaking records, bro. Back to back. Since the Olympic break, coming back.
Player, an MVP candidate. And if you look at her game logs thus far, 34 games, split it down the middle. The player on the left, first 17 games, is an all-star player. Player on the right is the best player in the world and a mega superstar. You might say Clark found her footing, found her groove, and is now thriving in this league. And to some degree, that is true. But what I chalk it up to is Clark being fatigued and tired to start the season. As looking at your schedule pre-WNBA, National Championship game, April 7th. Drafted, April 15th. First game, May 14th. And then their schedule was absolutely brutal. The Caitlin Clark in the last 17 games we've seen, that is the real Caitlin Clark. And here's the scary thing. Give her a 4-month break, come back next year even stronger, better shooter, better handles.
Boy, she gonna come back a monster, bro. I think she gonna blow everybody out the water, bro.
I mean, the sophomore bump is gonna be absolutely ridiculous with a well-rested off season.
When I watched her play the last month, I think she's learning to play much faster because I think she's learning to trust those girls more. Because, you know, when she's in college, she's not passing to a bunch of great players. Now you can see when she plays, she's playing a lot without the ball. She reminds me a lot of Jason Kidd. She probably did deserve to make the Olympic team on merit, but her getting that time off probably was the best thing happened to her.
Well, the other thing that happened, her teammates, you could see like a little osmosis. You watch that team now and they're pretty unselfish to watch. Like they're making extra passes, and it's the kind of stuff that happens when you're playing with a great player.
So stopping Bill and Charles right there, the greatest thing about watching Fever games is seeing someone like Kelsey Mitchell. And Mitchell, prior to this year, she was an all-star and an established player.
Monster.
Because of Clark, her impact, the spotlight she brings.
Bro, her hezzy, like when she cuts to the basket, it's like that. And then she go back and dart down low to the paint. And then next thing you know, she get that layup up on the block, bro. It always works, bro.
Someone like Mitchell,
if you watch the games, you know what I'm talking about.
Gets the praise she so rightfully deserves. And watching Mitchell and this entire team, Lexi Hall, Aaliyah Boston, Temi off the bench, I mean, this team top to bottom, they have household names now because of Caitlin Clark. I'm telling you guys, it's so simple. If this league just embraced Caitlin Clark, stopped the slander for 24 hours, things would change in an instant. As the entire mojo around Clark, the media around Clark, it is largely negative, like I said earlier. And with that negative energy around them, this thing could have gone bad after that 1-8 start. But to Caitlin Clark's credit and Mitchell's credit, it didn't. They righted the ship, and right now are the hottest team in the league.
Facts.
And speaking of that duo, I mean, since the break, not just the best duo, the best backcourt, but the best 1-2 punch in a long time. And since the break, they're averaging 50.1 points per game. Now, that right there is the end of the video. As always, thank you guys.
Oh, family, comment down below, man. I want to have a conversation. And if you watch this long, I appreciate it. Let me know, do you feel like Charles Barkley was right? I feel like he was right. He got it straight to the point. They jealous, it's petty, it's a bunch of nonsense. And the dumbest thing you could do is fumble the very thing in regards of someone that's valuable. I mean, it's like somebody that go to the job and have her credentials, right? They have the credentials to do the job. And you just slander them. And they showing you how phenomenal they are. It's like you don't want to accept what you see. You want people just to believe what you say. Because you used to what you used to. It's like somebody at work that's always used to being boasted as the top employee of the month. And someone worked just as hard as you and you take that as negative. Right? And that's what it look like. But comment down below. Do y'all believe Charles Barkley was right? Do you feel like all this slander is going to keep the WNBA stagnant? I do. Because if you think about it, it's benefiting Caitlin Clark no matter what. But her work is speaking for itself. But obviously, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So she's just prevailing from all the slander. And it's bringing more visibility to her in turn, where she just bringing positive visibility, but the negative is making like, why y'all hate this girl so much, bro? So the WNBA is like, it's going to turn viewers away when it comes to supporting or even opening up the umbrella to support other teams. It's going to keep people closed in on this person because it's like, if you can hate this person so much, I'm going to rock with him. Why should we expand our repertoire and embrace your league? You ain't embracing a great player like this. So it's all leading by example, right? And I feel like the fans are going to make an example out of the WNBA. That's my take on it. Comment down below yours. But any further ado, family, give this video a big thumbs up, man. And I know, family, peace.